Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and I am back with another emergency card kit. If you're new to my channel, an emergency card is one where we make the cards ahead of time, but we leave the sentiments off. That way, when an occasion arises, we can choose the card that best fits the recipient and the sentiment that best fits the occasion. To help you with this, I release free printable kits on the first and third Friday of every month. It is part of my mission to make card making more affordable and more accessible to everyone. And so these kits contain free printable sentiments in interchangeable sizes, card sketches, digital paper, and digital ephemera that you can use for all your card making projects. Let's take a look at the kit. I'm calling this the Sassy Holiday Kit, but I got done with my whole page of sassy sentiments and I was like, I know there's people who aren't as sassy as I am. So I promise there are lots of other things in here that aren't quite as sassy. This kit is absolutely enormous. So let's dig in. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Whiskey, Vodka, Tequila, Blitzen. Deck yourself before you wreck yourself. Forget the gifts. I'm giving everyone my opinion this Christmas. Get excited. May your holiday breakdown be filled with joy. Three wise men? Be serious. No, I did not make your gift this year. I didn't get you a gift at all. Bring on the festivities, because I got a plan for that one. It's coming up. It's not in this video, but I promise you'll see that one too. During this most festive time of year, I hate you the least. From our merry mayhem to yours. These are 1 3/4 inch circles, and then that black circle prints just a little bigger than that. So it helps you to center your punch or your die, whatever you're using to cut it out. Then we have the same sentiments and the same sizes, but without that circle around it. So you can use a different size circle or a different shape altogether. Then we have rectangle sentiments. These are the same sentiments, though I've changed the fonts on some just to make them fit better. And then we have 2 extra spaces. No, I did not make your gift. I can't believe you think you deserve one. Life is short, eat the cookies. And then we have our card sketch. We're going to make 2 cards today using this sketch. All of those 4 pages are available for free here on YouTube. So just click on the description box below the video, click more or show more depending on your device. And then you'll find towards the bottom a link to the free download. If you're not super techie, just grab the one from YouTube. That's going to be the easiest for you. If you're a member of my Patreon, there are tons of bonus pages. There is a free membership option. And so right next to the free download in the description box, there's a link to my Patreon and a link to the video that sort of launched my Patreon and walks you through the different membership options, including the free membership. So for the free membership download, I have strip sentiments in 4 fonts. It's all the same sentiments, but here we have 2 sort of whimsical fonts. And then we have a scripty font and then a classic serif font. And then for those of you who don't really want the super sassy ones, I have an entire page of Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And these are a 1/2 inch. That's the biggest strip sentiment I think I've ever done. And you get them in 3 different fonts. And here we have them in black text on white and then in white text on black. Still at that free membership tier on Patreon, I have some Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays all season long, Merry Winter Wishes, May your days be merry and bright. There's 4 of each. They're great for batch making cards. If you're just looking for some like normal Merry Christmas types of sentiments. So we have it with that printed circle around it, without the printed circle around it. And then here I have 2 pages actually, one in blue and one in light pink. You're going to see a theme of those 2 colors through this kit, and you can cut those out. That printed circle of color is a little bigger even than the circle I normally print on here. Mine cut off a little bit on the edges of a few of these, so I'll scoot those in for you so that you don't have that problem, but I don't need all of them, so I'm not really worried about it. So we have 2 pages of those. Then we have those same sentiments with a black background. This is really great if you're foiling. You can print with a laser printer, and I find that my black toner foils better than my colored toner, or you can just do white text on black. Again, I really love that sort of reverse option sometimes. It makes for really elegant cards. And then our last page that is free on Patreon includes 2 sassy retro ladies who can give voice to your sassy sentiments. and then one printable sheet of digital paper, and it's got that same sort of blue, navy, pink theme to it. If you're a member of Patreon and you have your email notification settings turned on, then you would have been emailed a link to this much larger free version of the kit this morning. If you don't want to receive those email updates, you can still get it just by going into Patreon. And if you want to unsubscribe from the emails, at the very bottom of the emails you receive, there is a little button that says Manage Email Settings. So click on that, and then you have the option to turn that off. Then there are pages for my paid Patreon members. Thank you all so much. You are the reason that I can do 12 days of giveaways this year. If you haven't seen, it's coming up. I ordered a whole bunch of grab bags, and then I have some special items of mine to give away as well. So stay tuned for that. I haven't set a date yet because I'm still waiting for things to show up in the mail. But I think there's over $2,000 in giveaway prizes. Like, I can't even, Trinity Stamps, Tanisa gave me her super mystery bundle box to give away to you guys. It has $800 of product in it. I know, I know. So please, please, please stay tuned for that. But for my paid Patreon members, I have a friends tier that is $2 a month. And for a limited time, you can download a couple of these pages. I used to do it just until Sunday, so it was like 2 or 3 days. I'm just gonna leave them in there until the next kit comes out because I can't remember to take them out of there anyway. So you get these 4 retro ladies, and I will try to put also a PNG version of this in there as well so you can resize them because I think that's a lot of fun. Then you can get the blue background for our Sassy sentiments, right? Before we had the colored backgrounds on just the generic like Merry Christmas. So we have it in blue and we have it in black that is completely free for the friends tier. If you have your email settings on, check your email, but then also it'll be in that limited time access folder. My Sassy supporters will have all of that in your kit. And then you will also, as the $5 tier, get that pink background on all of your Sassy sentiments as well. I am very excited about this one because we are making the most of all that black printing. These will also be great for foiling. It's our rectangle Sassy sentiments. I know some of you, that's a lot of black to print, or maybe your printer doesn't print that well. I will say, I just bought a brand new printer. It's an inkjet, and I'm hoping it will be a more economical way to print. I will try to do like an unboxing and first impressions, but then after a couple months, I'll try to do like a bigger review because I print a ton. I get asked about my printer all the time, but it has been discontinued and it's not super great for heavyweight cardstock. So please know that that's coming, but I am in love with this one. So $5 tier and up, this is included in what you get. And then you'll get all of our strip sentiments with white text on black as well. Then at the $12 Saskatier membership level, you get 9 retro women. 4 of these are the same ones that were included earlier, but you'll get all of these on a PDF. I have them in 2 separate pages so that they're facing different directions, right? So on this one, she's sort of facing towards the left. And on this one, she's sort of facing towards the right. So that way you can make it fit however it works best on your card. The Saskatiers also get 3 pages of digital paper. And so one is oriented for portrait and one is oriented for landscape. So this one shows up in an earlier page. This just gives you more options. And then we have a couple of these sort of cloudy, flurry snow scenes. I love them so much. I think they're super dreamy. Don't forget that Saskatier level also gets resizable image files for the sentiments. So you can make those bigger or smaller or delete the ones that you don't want. The $25 Sassy Champion tier gets all of that. And then all of those image files you will also get as PNG resizable image files. And then you have the searchable database where you can look for sentiments by theme, by wording, by how sassy it may or may not be. So just know that those are options for you, but let's go ahead and make a card. For this first card, we're just gonna follow the sketch. So I have a piece of cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then this piece I cut from the free version of the Printable in Patreon. The measurement says 4 by 5 1/4, which I think would work beautifully here, but I've actually cut mine to 4 by 5.5. And actually, if you look at the sketch, it's 4 by 5.5. So either one will work perfectly fine. These are metallic snowflake rub-ons from scrapbook.com. I've had them in my stash for a while and figured I better start using them before it warms up. Is that optimism you hear, friends? It might be. So this is some white shimmer cardstock, and I am just adding on these metallic rub-ons. I will say I should have just run this through my die cutting machine or my Mink to give extra pressure and heat. It would have been a little easier, but I was too lazy to cut all the separate ones apart. So I'll show you part of it, but it took a while. It's also kind of hard to see because it's white shimmer and then silver metallic. But I love that what I'm going to get here is two different kinds of shine on the same pieces of cardstock. So the navy blue strips here are the dark gray pieces, and then my white pieces are the pink ones from the sketch. The navy blue is 1 1/4 inches. The white is 1 inch, and I have butted those all the way up against the left-hand side. There are 1/8 inch measurements on there for the pink layers. If you don't want to do the 1/8 inches, just cut them down by 1/8 so you're at 1/4 inch measurements, and then leave yourself a margin on both the left and the right hand side, and it might be a little bit easier for you, but I don't mind 1/8 of an inch. I am staggering these, so I have the medium on the bottom, then the longest one in the middle, and the shortest one on the top, and I am just eyeballing it. I left maybe 1/8 of an inch. It matches the margins on the right, but maybe a little bit more, and I'm just trying to create the same margin from the bottom to strip 1 and then between each of the strips. And as long as they're about the same, it doesn't really matter how much room you leave. If you're worried about it, you can print out page 4, which is your sketch page. And if you print at 100%, which is the default for most printers, it is the same size on the sketch as your actual card. I'm using Emergency Card Essentials die set number 1 that I designed for Trinity Stamps. It coordinates with all of the sentiments that I make and release in my free printables, but really you can cut these by hand, okay? So the navy is 2.5 by 1.5, and then the pink rectangle is 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. That circle is 2 inches. Those are just the standard mats, and they're right on your printable. All of the pieces in blue are really intended to be sentiment mats, and then you can put all of them on or some of them on or whatever works for your card, but that way you have a place for your interchangeable sentiment. I'm going to add this onto a top folding A2 note card, so that's 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, scored in the middle at 5.5. Side folding would work just fine here. And then I'm adding another one of those 2-inch circles on the inside for an inside sentiment. Because I am super sassy, especially around the holidays, I am going to use the sentiment from the bottom that says, during this most festive time of year, I hate you the least. And I have siblings, relatives, friends, all the people that I could give this to, and they'd be like, yep, that's about right. I think this card came from Sarah. And I'm using removable adhesive in case I want to change my mind later. But friends, that finishes up card number 1. It's great for scraps and just using pattern paper. For our next card, we're going to make a fun fold. So I have a card base that I'm going to do twice. It's 8.5 by 5.5 inches. I'm scoring at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. We're making 2 Z-fold cards. This is going to be a double Z-fold, so I'll just fold it in half like normal. And then I'm going to fold the short flap back the other direction, right? So when I hold it up, you can see it creates this Z. I'm going to do the same thing with the other piece. I have 2 Z's. I'm going to take one of these and rotate it 180 degrees so that the Z's are butting up against each other, but you can see there's like a gap in the middle. So I just trimmed slivers off of this one until the folds in the middle butted right up against each other and I didn't have that gap anymore. I'm going to glue the 2 pieces together by putting glue on the inside of one of the pieces and then just laying the other one right on top of it. It's the same way we've been sandwiching them together. Then I have a 4 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock that I cut in half. I wanted the pattern to feel continuous, and I'm putting that 2-inch strip on each side, and making sure that it's going to butt right up to the center. So I get that same 1/8 inch strip on either side. Again, you could do this at 4 by 5 1/4 as well. A lot of times I have pattern paper that's already cut to that size, so I did leave the measurement that way on the printable. So this will open on both sides like a Z fold, almost a gate fold, and I love that. When I opened it up, it was like pink overload. So I cut an extra piece of white cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just going to center that in the middle. It's not quite a full 4 1/4 on the inside anymore, just because I was trimming slivers. So I made sure I wasn't trying to cut a 4 1/4 inch piece. Then I have my strips. I've already layered them up the exact same measurements as before, but I'm going to put them on the right side this time instead of the left. I will lay each piece over my project and then use my fingers to kind of figure out, well, where's the middle? Because I only want glue where it's going to overlap the left-hand side of the card. Otherwise, I'm going to glue the whole thing shut. So I just use my fingers, and then the top one will be entirely on that right-hand side of the card. I love this layout because there are so many versatile options. You wouldn't have to do a fun fold, but because I can do a fun inside-outside sentiment, and I'm going to add a die cut. So this is the Spellbinders large die of the month. It has these 2 adorable monsters in it, and it's got a little hexagon pop-up box. It reminds me of the Lawn Fawn pop-up, except it's like 1/3 of the size, maybe 1/4 of the size. It's teeny tiny. They did a really good job including all of the pieces you need to put this together, including like interchangeable arms and legs and all that kind of stuff. It reminds me of the birthday monster collection that came out last winter that was so popular. Like, look at these eyes. This is brilliant. So instead of trying to put eyes on the front, and then it's weird because it looks like the eyes are sticking out and kind of bulging, this goes back behind, and there are debossed details so you know where you can put your glue, and then you just lay this guy right down on top of it. It is awesome. I love it. And some of the pieces in this you can use interchangeably with the other monster dies. A lot of them are dancing dies. So I'm going to put this guy together. I'll show you some bonus cards at the end here. I did a live stream with some of my favorite crafty friends where I made 2 cards using the Spellbinders clubs already. Normally, I would be releasing a Spellbinders club video on the 6th of the month, but I will wait until another day to do maybe a full video on the club kits this month. It's emergency card kit day, right? That comes first. I do want to say I am just now getting back into the craft room. So thank you everybody for your patience. I had some things I was hoping would come out last month video-wise. There were just a few hiccups early on where I thought I was going to be more mobile than I was, but everything seems to be healing well now. So I am back to crafting. It's really exciting. I have my little snow monster here. I just thought this is like this crazy pile of snow, like a fuzzy snowball monster to go with our pattern paper. And I'm going to add on a little action wobbler. I got mine from Trinity Stamps, but you can get them all kinds of places. And then I'm going to peel off the backing. I am adding extra glue because on the back of the monster, there is lots of texture and dimension from the different pieces of cardstock I put back there. And then just because I, in general, have trust issues with anything that is self-adhesive. So don't mind me, I am adding glue. For our sentiment, I wanted to bring out some of our 1/2 inch strip sentiments and maybe make a card that's not entirely sassy. These are 1/2 inch strips. Normally we do 1/4 inch strips, and occasionally I have released some 3/8 inch strip options, but I loved these and then was delighted to discover that that's the right width to fit right on this scallop die that's in the large die of the month, the same one that the monsters and the pop-up box are in. So I am just marking on either side of my happy holidays where the sort of raised area for the scallop rectangle ends, so it fits perfectly and I have the same border all the way around when I trim that off. I will add this with removable adhesive. If you don't have that die set, I would just cut a mat for it that is, instead of a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and then by however long you need it to be. I'm going to add a little sentiment on the inside that is maybe my favorite in the entire set. From our merry mayhem to yours, I have 2 little boys who are in constant motion. and I love them dearly. One of them has a birthday today, so happy birthday, Mr. Finny Finn. But it's chaos around here. It is absolutely nuts. So I will probably put that on lots and lots of cards this year. We have our little wobbly snow monster, our fun fold pull out, sweet on the outside, sassy on the inside. And then I have two bonus cards. The first is from the mystery craft along, and you can like craft right along with us. It's a live stream. I'll link that below. It is this crazy card. And I used Forget the Gifts. I'm giving everyone my opinion this Christmas, and I might put some like pictures in there and maybe some opinions. It does fold shut as long as you don't have the bear that I have. Then I put that same fuzzy monster on a sweater. I love that die set so much. The sweater is a great shape card. And then this is the small die of the month, which is super elegant and beautiful. I made those two cards in a live stream with LB Handcrafted, Lauren Taylor Made, and Carrie Rhodes. All right, my friends, those are our two card projects for today. I would love to know, as always, which of these two cards is your favorite. If you have ideas for upcoming kits, I want to know about it. Put them in the description box below the video. There is a poll over on Patreon for some kit ideas that I had, but you guys come up with stuff that I had never thought about. So I want to hear from you as well. If you're interested in the free printable kit, go ahead and click more or show more beneath the video, and it will unpack that description box. The 4-page version is linked right in there. So you're going to click on it and it will take you to my Google Drive. If you're not super techie, just do it that way. If you're interested in the bonus pages, and there's tons of them for free over in Patreon, I will link to Patreon right next to that download. I will also include that tutorial video that can help walk you through how to join either at a paid membership tier or the free membership level. I like to give you guys free content whenever I can. Speaking of free stuff, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more free downloads, but also the 12 days of giveaways that are coming up. We'll start sometime in December. As soon as I have kits that start showing up, I ordered all kinds of like mystery bags, grab bags, and things. So as soon as I have a few in hand, we can get the schedule set up for at least the first few. I cannot wait. I just love sharing with you guys so much. So thank you so much, everyone, for spending your time with me. And I will see you next time.